officers present code for.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all had a restful evening last night. One thing I meant to tell y'all yesterday, but I'll tell y'all this morning, if there's ever a time that y'all feel like you need to stand up and stretch or just move around while we're in the testimony, feel free to do that. I mean, it shouldn't be distracting to anybody. And I know, believe me, I know that sitting all day long can kind of get uncomfortable sometimes. So just feel free to do that if y'all need to. All right, Ms. Hilton, you can go ahead with your examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Copeland.
Good morning.
Now, yesterday when we left off, you were speaking about this infinity that was rented by Thug that you gave to Threat, I guess the day before Donovan Thomas was murdered. Is that correct? Yesterday when we left off, were you speaking about the infinity that was rented by Thug that you gave to Threat the day before Donovan Thomas was murdered?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall yesterday talking about giving an infinity to Threat? Do you need me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, do you recall testifying about giving the infinity to Threat? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. And you said that you gave Threat that infinity after you and Little D from Cleveland Avenue spun out that infinity on the highway. Is that correct?
I don't recall.
You don't recall what you said yesterday?
I didn't tell you that yesterday. I said I gave Threat the car yesterday.
Okay. Did you also talk about you spinning out the car on the highway yesterday as well?
I don't recall.
All right. And when you gave Threat the car, that was at the studio off of Northside Drive?
I ain't for sure which one it was, but
Would this be the studio that's 675 Metropolitan Parkway?
Metropolitan?
Yes.
No.
Is this the studio that...
I don't recall which studio it was.
Okay. If you saw a picture, would you recognize it?
Recognize what?
The studio.
Hell, no.
When you dropped the car off to the studio, do you know if Thug was inside the studio?
I didn't go in.
Okay. But do you know if he was there or not, although you did not go in?
I'm going to allow it.
Do you know if he was there?
I don't know.
Back in 2015, how often would you go to the studio?
Not much.
And when you say not much, what does that mean?
I like to be in the streets.
Okay. So how often would you go to the studio?
I just said I don't know.
Okay. Would it be once a week, once a month, every couple of months?
I don't recall.
Now, you said that you gave Threat you said you gave Threat the infinity, and you don't know what happened next. Is that correct?
I said I gave Threat the car.
Okay.
And I left.
Do you know if Threat gave the car back to Thug?
I don't recall. I don't know.
Okay. This was the car that Thug rented, correct?
I don't recall.
Yesterday, didn't you testify this was the car that Thug rented?
Shit, I guess I don't know. Like,
you don't know if Thug rented the car or not?
yesterday you asked me, did I go to a rental car place with him?
Yes. And what was your answer?
What did I tell you?
You tell me.
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, once you gave Threat the vehicle and you left, When did you find out about Nut being killed?
I don't recall.
Did anyone tell you that threat killed Nut?
Didn't?
Sustained.
Why did you bring up that you gave the infinity the threat? Why did you tell me that yesterday?
Because I did.
Okay. And why did you tell me that?
What you mean? Why did I tell you that?
Yeah. Why was yesterday the first time that you ever mentioned giving threat the infinity?
Because y'all sitting here like y'all know what y'all talking about when y'all don't.
Okay. So why didn't you tell the police that back in 2015?
Because I ain't trying to go to jail.
Why would you go to jail for giving someone a car?
The same way y'all take me to jail for everything else.
Okay. But is there a crime to give someone a car?
Sustained.
Why did you think you would get in trouble for giving someone a car?
I don't recall.
Were you trying to insinuate because you gave threat the car, that threat must have had something to do with Nut's murder?
Huh?
In telling me yesterday that you gave the infinity to threat, were you trying to infer that threat must have had something to do with Nut's murder?
I don't know what threat did.
Okay. So why did you tell me about giving threat the infinity?
Because you put me up here to tell the truth.
Okay. Is there some truth? Did threat kill Nut?
I got to answer that?
Yeah. Do you have an answer?
I don't know what threat did.
Okay. Back in 2015, did you tell the police that threat killed Nut?
No.
Okay. Did you tell police that other individuals killed Nut?
I'm going to protect threat.
Okay. But you didn't protect the other people that you talked about?
Me and Threat been friends since 2001.
Okay. Are you closer to Shannon than you are to Threat?
I'm closer to Threat than I am any person in the street.
Okay. But when you were talking about who you were close with, you never mentioned Threat to the police back in 2015. Is that correct?
That's my partner in crime.
Okay. But in 2015, when they asked you, who are you closest to, you never mentioned Threat, correct?
Right? Because I know the police trying to get me.
Okay. But you talked about being very close to Little D, correct?
Because the D is a pretty boy.
You talked about being very close to Shannon, correct?
Because Shannon is a pretty boy too.
Okay. But all the pictures, do you remember the pictures that we showed you back in June?
Right?
They only had you, Shannon, and Little D primarily, correct?
This one, I'm not on that other type of time.
Okay. Do you have a lot of pictures with Threat?
Yes.
Okay. Back in 2015?
We have a lot of pictures together.
Okay. Why would you tell on Shannon and not on Threat when you're talking about the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Because telling is being honest. Lying is lying. I'm going to protect Threat.
Why would you make up anything on Shannon when you said to the police,
It's
those
easy.
are your friends, even though they're pretty boys, those are your friends. So why would you make it up as to Shannon and not tell the police about Threat?
Because the thing is, if a person ain't do it, they ain't do it. So no matter what I tell the police, they didn't do it. So I ain't got to be like, okay, I'm telling the truth by saying they did it. Okay, they didn't do it, so the police can't lock them up for something they didn't do. But if I say Threat did it and Threat actually did it, then that's a different story.
Are you telling us that Threat did it?
I ain't said Threat did nothing.
Okay. So did Threat kill Donovan?
I don't know.
Are you now bringing anything about Threat because he's deceased and now can't come in here and defend himself with whatever it is that you're saying?
I'm up here to tell the truth. You going back into the past and I done told you 1.5 times that I don't lie. So you put me up here to tell the truth. The truth of the matter was I gave Threat the car.
Okay. And that's all that you did was gave threat the car.
That's all I recall.
And you gave him the car at the studio. And once you gave him the car, what did you do?
I don't recall.
Did you go home to Deshaun's house?
I don't recall.
So how is that you recall giving threat the car, but you can't remember anything else that day?
I probably geeked up.
Geeked up when, now or then?
I don't do drugs now.
Okay. So how is it today? You can remember that you gave threat the car, but you can't remember anything else you did back in January 2015.
I don't recall.
You don't recall what?
Nothing.
Okay, so you don't recall that threat that you gave the car the threat?
That's what you want me to say?
I want you to answer truthfully, Mr. Copeland.
I think I just said I don't recall.
Now, yesterday you testified that Gaither and the police were out to get you. Is that fair that you said that yesterday?
You told me yourself that they did me wrong.
I asked you a specific question.
Yes.
Okay. Isn't it true that in 2015 you would call Gaither if something happened in the streets?
Because I'm playing on her.
Okay. But isn't it true that in the January interview that you met with Gaither and Dennis, you called her to let her know that they were shooting at you?
Because I ain't no telling what I did back to them.
Okay. And it was after you called her that you went to the studio.
I don't recall calling no Gaither telling her anything. I don't recall.
In the interview, didn't she tell you, I waited up here for you because you called me?
I don't recall.
And that she was actually getting ready to get off of work, but since you called her, she waited for you.
I don't recall.
All right. Isn't it true that in the February interview, after you were shot at and your daughter and your child's mother was shot at, when they told you you needed to give the gun to someone, you said, I'm going to call Gaither and I'm going to give it to Gaither?
I don't recall.
Isn't it also true in May of 2015, when you were originally detained at the Dunbar Center with the gun, that they took you over to Turner Field because you asked to speak to Gaither?
I don't recall.
No. And that Gaither met you at Turner Field, correct?
That's a lie.
She didn't meet you at Turner Field?
You got the police report. The police that got me said that every time they get me, they got to notify the gang unit to come get me.
Did you?
When they touch me.
So you did not call and ask for them to speak to Gaither?
No.
Okay. And did you meet with Gaither at Turner Field?
No, I was in the back of the police car in handcuffs.
Did Gaither meet you at Turner Field while you were back in the car in handcuffs?
I don't recall.
And matter of fact, that day, did you get released?
And,
From Turner Field, did you get released?
Yeah, I guess.
Did you go to jail the day that you met Gaither at Turner Field? Did you go to jail that day?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay. You didn't get arrested for that gun at the Dunbar Center until June of 2015, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And isn't it true that even after you got arrested in June of 2015, that once you were in jail, you called Gaither multiple times to speak to her from jail?
I don't recall calling her from jail.
You don't recall having Deshaun call Gaither multiple times for you?
I don't recall.
And didn't you want Gaither to come and meet with you at the jail so you can give her more information?
Speak on the facts. If she want that gun, and she keep asking me for a gun, and I ain't giving her the gun. What make you think I'm getting her truthful information? If I trust her so much, and I always call her, why I won't get her the gun? It's self-explanatory.
Didn't you tell her you didn't give her the gun because Shannon had taken the gun to Miami? Or taken the gun while he was on tour with Thug?
No, I don't know what I don't told her, but I'm not gonna give her no evidence on me.
Okay. And wasn't Deshawn actually frustrated with you because you wanted to call Gaither so much and she didn't want you to call and speak to Gaither?
Cause Deshawn knew what I was doing.
I want to go back to the February 20th interview. Now, I just asked you about Detective Gaither and speaking with her. Isn't it true that in the February 20th interview, you told Detective, I had came down here and talked to Officer Gaither and somehow word hit the street. I told Gaither a lot of stuff, but it did not get out. But just this time, it hit the streets. Now people looking at me sideways. Do you recall telling the detective that?
I don't recall nothing I told. I don't recall what I don't told the detectives. I tell them anything that what they'll go for, what I think I can convince them to go for.
And did you also tell the detectives the detectives told you that you needed to actually keep in touch with Gaither and lay very low. And you told them, I'll keep in touch with her and I'm going to give her the gun.
Did I give her the gun?
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what did you tell the police?
I don't recall what I told them, but I would have told them anything to get them out my face.
Okay. Now, back in 2015, did people believe that you were the reason that you were a bad influence?
Can you repeat that question?
Sure. Back in 2015, did you tell police that you were the reason that Thug's name kept coming up?
I'll allow that. That's okay. Thought that might be a different question, but you can ask that question.
Thank you. In the February interview, did you tell the police that you were the reason that Thug's name was getting involved in all of this beef and drama with YFN and If Gang?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
Okay. Did you say to the police, I heard someone say I'm the reason. They said that I pulled Thug into this. I'm the reason they bring Thug name up. Thug having something to do with it because of me. Folks going around saying I'm trying to mess up his career. How the hell am I messing up his career? I had nothing to do with it. I didn't. I don't know what the hell is going. Sorry. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I would tell the police anything to get them out my face.
Okay. Now, after this February interview, were you then arrested later on that day on a probation violation?
Y'all locked me up so many times. I don't keep record of this stuff.
Okay. Going back to the pictures from yesterday. I'm showing you 378 Yankee Charlie 1 and 378 Yankee Delta 1. Is Yankee Charlie 1 February 20th, 2015?
How I supposed to know which one of them is it?
Look at 378 Yankee Charlie 1. Do you see that on the paper?
Okay,
Do you see the date that's on the top?
Friday.
What's the day?
Friday.
What's the
All
date?
right, we already established yesterday it was February 20th, so
Yeah.
just ask the question.
Looking at both of those, is one you're in the jumpsuit and one you are not in the jumpsuit?
Right.
Okay. And is one on the February 20th and the other one on February 21st?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. So after you left your interview on February 20th, were you arrested on a probation violation?
Huh?
After you left the interview on February 20th, were you arrested on a probation violation? The next day, are you in
Oh,
blue
yeah.
jumpsuit?
You said when I left,
Okay. Do you remember when you were arrested?
the papers got the next day. I don't know if it's the same day or the next day.
Okay. But when you came back, you spoke to Detective Gaither on the second time on February 21st, correct?
This what it looked like in the picture.
All right. And during that interview, she was trying to get you to tell them what happened regarding the shooting of your child and the shooting at you, your child, and your child's mother, correct?
I recall.
Okay. And during that interview, you actually begin the interview not talking about the shooting, but talking about what was happening between If Gang and you, because people thought you killed Nut, correct?
I don't recall what I told the investigators. I was just saying whatever come out of the top of my dome to get them out for me.
And during that interview, did you then again reiterate to Detective Gaither that you did not kill Nut and you didn't have anything to do with it, correct?
I don't recall what I told no investigator.
And you also began to tell Detective Gaither again what occurred the night that Nut was murdered, once you learned that Nut was murdered, correct?
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
Okay. You also told Detective Gaither in this interview that you learned from Little D that Nut got killed.
That's what I told the police.
Is that what you told Detective Gaither?
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators. If you call me in here to tell the truth, you got to stop going back into the past.
Okay. And you also told her about being at Carver home at your baby mom's house that earlier in the day that Nut got killed, correct?
I don't recall nothing I told. Who you said I said this to?
Detective Gaither.
I don't recall nothing I said to Gaither.
And matter of fact, you told her that you came down on your own that morning to let the police know that you had nothing to do with Nut's murder, correct?
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
Now, did you also talk to Detective Gaither about your fear of being labeled a snitch?
I don't recall.
Okay. When she asked you to tell her about who shot at you and your child's mother, you told her, "I try my best, man, to just because if I help you tell you anything and make it even worse." And she asked, "What makes it worse?" "Now I'm a snitch. Now this and that."
I don't recall.
And she asked you, "You worried about snitching?" And you said, "I just want to get out of jail and just stay out the way."
I don't recall.
Now, you also talked to Detective Gaither in the same interview about trivia as well, correct?
I don't recall.
And you told Detective Gaither that trivia provides a lot of information about Kel to Muntung?
I don't recall.
And that's where you all get a lot of your information regarding If Gang, correct?
I don't recall.
And that's because Trevia was dating Shell Kel and Muntung, correct?
I don't know who she date.
Okay. Did you tell Detective Gaither that Trevia was dating both Muntung and Shell Kel?
I don't recall nothing that I made up to the police.
Now, we just talked about you calling Gaither the night that they were shooting at you on the highway. Do you recall yourself today calling Gaither the night that they shot at you on the highway?
No, I don't recall.
Okay. Now, do you recall Detective Gaither in this interview asking you who shot at you, your child, and your child's mother?
I don't recall.
And that you told her that the person looks like you think it was Tay?
I don't recall.
Do you also recall telling Detective Gaither in this interview, which is now February 21st of 2015, that after they shot at you on the highway, that people from the opposite gang posted it on Instagram? So people from If Gang posted it on Instagram?
I don't recall.
Did you also tell Detective Gaither you had concerns that if people learned that you were talking to police and it gets out, it was going to make this stuff get worse for you? You're staring. Are you going to respond?
I don't recall.
Okay. In this February interview, did you tell detectives that you knew it was Tay because you knew what he looked like and that you used to play ball with him at Carver?
My right hand to God. Tay never shot me and my child and my baby mom.
I asked you, did you tell detectives?
I don't recall.
Yeah. And that you had concern because you had brought him to your house before?
I don't recall.
And matter of fact, didn't you send Detective Gaither a picture of Tay from Instagram telling her that this is the person who you believe shot at you?
I don't recall.
And matter of fact, when you were speaking with her, she said to you, you can start out by, who is it? You sent me this picture. Which one is it? And you responded, it's the guy standing by in the brown.
Say that again.
When she asked you if it was the Instagram picture that you sent to her, when you were identifying Tay, she asked you, you can start out by, who is it? You sent me this picture. Which one is it? And your response was, it's the guy standing by in the brown.
I don't recall.
As it relates to being a snitch, did you also tell Detective Gaither that you were concerned being labeled a snitch because other individuals were being tortured because they were considered being a rat.
You done?
Yes, the question is finished.
Being a snitch is someone who telling the police the truth.
Okay. Were you concerned being labeled a snitch because you were telling the truth to the detectives back in January 2015?
I done did so much stuff in my life. Being labeled a snitch, I don't recall.
Okay. Specifically, you told her, I see how boy is living. And she asked you, how's he living? And you said, hell, he gets tortured everywhere he go. He a fucking rat, this and that. And I turn around, I'm in the same shoes he is. I don't know if he did whatever he had going on. I have not done none of this. It's just like, only reason I know this much information is because I be around so many people. I get the word.
It's cap.
Okay. And when we say it's cap, what does that mean?
I don't recall.
Earlier, you said that the person that you be with the most is Threat back in 2015, correct?
No, I said this is my best friend.
That's your best friend. In this interview in February of 2020, when you were asked, who were you around? Isn't it true that you said, there's only two people I fuck with, Shannon and Little D. If I'm not with Shannon, me and Little D, we together all the time.
I wasn't going to tie myself in with Threat.
Why? At this point in time, why?
I don't recall.
Okay. And you said, matter of fact, yeah, we together all the time. The only two I've been with.
I don't recall.
Now, you're saying that you were lying to the detectives. When they asked you for the gun, did you tell Detective Gaither, listen, Gaither, I tell you, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to get you the gun. He didn't want to give me the gun. This and that. I told the detectives, give me a couple of days, and I want to get the gun for you. And isn't it true? Is that what do you recall telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't recall telling her that. I don't know what I tell Gaither anything, but one thing I ain't going to do, I ain't going to be no fool.
Okay.
I'm not giving myself up.
And isn't it true that in June, you finally gave Detective Gaither the reason why you could not give her the gun?
Because she caught me again, right? I don't recall what I don't say in no interview, but I'm not stupid to get the police no gun. Especially Gaither.
In this February 21st interview, did you also tell Detective Gaither again about this meeting with a man named Mo, and he gave you 97 days to live? Did you tell Detective Gaither about this meeting?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true? You told Detective Gaither. Mo said I have 97 days to live. If I ain't dead in 97 days, they gonna shoot a Mechanicsville until they kill me. The word come back to me. Moontung seen somebody downtown. They were If gang. He's like, damn, what up with y'all? What y'all got going on? Niggas like, it was a misunderstanding, bro. They made it seem like we come to get everybody. We beefing with the whole If gang. Nah, it's just Kel and everybody up under Kel, and they all beefing with me.
But I would post up in the middle of my neighborhood every day.
Okay. Were you all beefing with the whole If gang?
I don't recall.
And when you say we were beefing with the whole If gang? Were you talking about YSL?
I'm from Canterville.
Now, during that interview in February 21st, do you recall another detective coming to speak with you about an unrelated issue?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Do you recall someone coming in and talking to you about another murder?
If you say.
Okay. And during that interview, she talked to you about being a part of YSL, correct?
I don't recall what I talked to with any of these police is about. I just know that I was trying to get them off of me. And I'm finna make up whatever, if they bring up whatever topic, I'm finna make up something to get them off of me. I'm a victim in every situation. I'm an innocent in everything I do.
Do you recall her asking you, you was Billy Blood? And your response was, I was, but. And she didn't ask you, what are you now? And your response is, that's the point. They got mad because I didn't go back with Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL.
I don't recall saying that.
And then you also continue to say that the Inglewood family people were also mad at Little D because he used to be Inglewood. And when he got in, strike that. You also continue to say that Inglewood was mad at Little D as well, correct?
I don't recall.
And that when Little D got jumped by MDC, they laughed at him because they thought YSL should have helped him out in the club.
YSL is not a game. So you can't, y'all keep trying to attach that to things that go on. If YSL was a game and you saying that I was Billy Blood and Lil was If game, how the hell, excuse my language, how would all of us be YSL if we all supposed to be this and that and that? It don't make sense. If you're a gang, you only gonna be one thing.
Doesn't YSL have both Blood and Crip gang members?
YSL is a record label.
Were you ever signed to YSL as a record label?
Y'all keep locking me up.
Were you ever signed to YSL as a record label?
No.
When you got out of jail and you were doing your rap videos, were you signed to YSL?
I was signed to somebody else.
Okay, so you've never been on YSL, the record label, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So when we're talking about you was Billy Blood, but now I'm with Thug and them, I'm YSL, Billy Blood is not a record label, correct?
But when you're speaking on gang,
is Billy Blood a record label?
All right, Bill, he didn't seem to be answering. Go ahead and answer the question that's on the floor.
Is Billy Blood a record label?
I don't know what Billy Blood is.
So when she asked
saying it wrong?
She asked you was Billy Blood. You said, I was, but.
I'm talking to the police, so I don't recall what I don't say to them. But when you're trying to say gang, it's a difference. When you put the gang on things, you go into where I was. I was a 30 Deep gang member. You can't say I was a YSL gang member. YSL was never considered a gang. Y'all making it a game.
When you responded, I didn't go back to Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL. Did you say I'm part of YSL, a record label?
So listen. It's not a gang. You know what I mean? It don't matter how y'all try to put it, how y'all trying to see it. A gang is these people right here, everybody right here, and everybody. You can't put Crips and Bloods together and say that this is a gang. Because if the Crips and Bloods get into it and everybody just saying that, you know, they YSL, they got to pick what they going to choose. You can't say, like when I was down the road and then people like, oh, that's Woody. He be with Young Thug, such. And the Blood's like, well, he not Blood. And then the Crips like, well, so when they get in, it don't make sense. Y'all got to get that. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all in here trying to make something more than what it is. It's not.
Is Duke a Crip?
I don't know. Ask Duke.
I'm asking you.
I don't recall.
Okay. And is Duke a part of YSL?
Ask Duke.
I'm asking you.
But we speaking on gang.
I asked you a simple question. Is Duke a Crip?
I don't know. I'm not a Crip. Never was.
That's not what I asked you.
I can't tell you who's a Crip and who's a Blood.
Do you know if Duke is a Crip?
I know I'm a civilian.
Overruled.
Do you know if Duke is a Crip?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know if Duke is a member of YSL?
I don't recall.
Also, in this February interview with Detective Gaither, did you also speak to her about the gambling house shooting that occurred in Lakewood?
I don't recall.
Did you tell her the whole time it come back on Kel and them, because there's a little gambling house we go hang out and gamble. We go there, we gamble, we come out and leave, Kel and them in the bushes. Kel, Stewie, they never mentioned a third person name. They in the bushes. They start shooting at us, and they shot so many times. Shit, I was just glad to be alive.
I don't recall.
And when she asked you what gambling house, you said in Lakewood. They shot so many times. So damn near shot everybody's car. But they missed everybody and grazed one person across his back. But when the police came, he had already left. Couple people left, but it was Kel. Do you recall?
I don't recall.
And in fact, you told Detective Gaither the reason why you found out it was Kel is because he got into it with Gucci Red, and she came back and told you all that it was Kel that shot up the gambling house.
I'm talking to the police. I'm going to tell them anything to get them out my face. I don't recall what I don't told them, so you keep asking me the same these questions about what I told the police. Ask me about what's going on today. I don't recall about no lies I don't told in the past.
Back in 2015, were you afraid to come to court to testify if you had to against Tay?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Back in 2015, when you had this interview with Detective Gaither, were you afraid that you would have to come to court to testify against Tay?
Miss Hilton, you know I'm not afraid of nothing that's walking on this earth.
Okay.
You know that.
Looking at that interview, did you tell Detective Gaither, if I describe him in your case, I will have to come to court?
I don't recall. What I don't told the investigator, whatever you call them.
And then you also asked Detective Gaither, if you point him out, meaning Tay, that's going to make it in his discovery packet.
I don't recall. Nothing I don't told the investigators.
And matter of fact, Detective Gaither said to you, I mean, if you identify him, you a victim. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not going to eventually come out.
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
And you told her, man, I know if I do this, shit just going to get worse and worse.
Miss Hilton, I don't recall nothing I don't told the investigators.
And you continue to say, nah, I'm worried about he get locked up, he get the discovery, see, I circle his picture and put my name on there, and he gonna send it to the street, say I told on him. And they gonna put it on Instagram and Twitter, and they gonna tell everybody, and then I'm gonna just be like, boy, then nobody won't be around me.
But the God honest truth is he never shot at me.
Okay. But back in 2015, your concern was if you pointed him out, you'd be labeled a snitch, correct?
No, my concern was if they locked him up for something that he didn't do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't recall, you know what I mean? I don't recall what I done told the investigators, but telling them the truth be the last thing I ever do.
And matter of fact, you kept asking, I'm gonna have to come to court, correct?
I don't recall what I just said to the investigators.
And at that point, she tried to encourage you to pick him out of the photographic lineup, correct?
I don't recall.
And then you asked her, what do I have to do then? And she asked you, what you have to do then what? And you said, after I snitch. And she said to you, it's not snitching, it's telling the truth. If you call it snitching, you circle the person you know that shot at you.
It's snitching when you telling the truth.
And that's what your concern was, correct?
Not if y'all sitting here trying to make me say somebody shot at me that they didn't shoot at me. But if this way it's gonna take, because they keep saying here, you gonna let people shoot at you while you got your child? I'm tired of you keep asking me something. I don't know who shot at me. If I knew who shot at me, I don't recall.
Now, you said that everything you told the detectives is a lie. But didn't you also tell detectives that every time you hung around with Young Thug, he told you he was going to show you some new shit? That he's going to show you a new way of life?
I don't recall what I done told the investigators.
Was that a lie?
I don't recall what I told the investigators.
Did Young Thug tell you at some point in time back in 2015 he was going to show you a new life?
What the hell? My life was all right. So I don't recall him telling me that.
Did you travel with Thug on tour?
No, I never traveled with him on tour.
Did you ever travel with him on a plane?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did you ever go to Miami with him?
Yes, I have.
Did he ever give you money to post up in the club?
Nope. I want to pay somebody your money.
Did you tell the police that he would give you money at times to flash in the club?
I tell the police, what you done tell them this is my money? They gonna want to know where I got it from?
Did you also tell the police that Thug told you to have your girl find a place in Cobb County so you can lay low for a while and that he was going to help you out and pay for it?
I tell the police anything to get them out my face at the time. I don't recall what I done told them.
Did Thug offer to pay for some place for you and your girl to live to lay low?
Did he ever do it?
That's not the question I asked you.
No, I made it up. I don't recall what I done said. I don't know. I don't even know if I said that to the police.
Okay. So are you saying today that Thug never offered to have you to lay low and pay for a place?
Thug never did nothing for me besides let me travel with him to his concerts, shows, or whatever you want to call it.
Didn't you tell the police after they asked you this question? They asked you, Thug can't get no money to get your girl to move? And you said, I know he will, but I'm in jail. They asked you, I mean what? To send words to send word. If he's going to look out, he would. Sorry. I mean what? To send word is to send word. If he's going to look out, he will, jail or not. And your response is, he said, find somewhere in Cobb or Clayton County. They won't come there. He said, don't bring anybody to the house.
I don't recall nothing I done told to the police.
Now, you said that you was a member of 30 Deep. So 30 Deep a gang?
Nah, I just said that, but
Was 30 Deep also known as the Blue Jeans Bandit?
I don't know. That what y'all labeled it?
Have you ever heard 30 Deep be referenced as?
I don't recall.
What Bloods are a part of YSL?
Huh?
What Bloods are a part of YSL?
What you mean? What Bloods are a part of YSL? You can't. I don't recall.
Do you know what other Crips are a part of YSL?
I don't recall.
And earlier, did I hear you clearly when you said YSL has Crips and Blood, so it can't be a gang? Did you say that?
'Cause you got to understand, if you're a gang, right? So you a Bloods. The Bloods won't let you say that you YSL or you 30 Deep or you MDC. You gonna even be Blood and whatever that is, a Crip or whatever that is. You can't be two, three different things. Like, where they do that at? Who your loyalty gonna be with? If you claim you three different gangs, anything liable to go down.
Is your loyalty to YSL?
Is what?
Your loyalty.
My loyalty to myself. You keep saying YSL. What YSL ain't got nothing to do with me or the streets.
I just asked you whether or not Thug gave you money to flex on the stage, and your response was he did not give you money, correct?
I tell the investigators anything. That's what my response was.
Okay. In that January 28th interview, did you tell them Thug gave me money and I'm on stage flexing the money?
I don't recall what I told no police.
And as it relates to Miami, in that same January 28th interview, did you tell the police Thug had a show? He took me to the show with him. Thug had a show. I think it had to be in Miami because it was on a Sunday. We flew to Miami on a plane. While we in Miami, they was like in the club, this and that.
I don't recall what I done made up to tell the police.
After this February 21st interview, did you go to jail?
Can you say that again?
After you were finished with this February interview, did you go to jail?
I don't know what you...
After you left that interview, when you're in the blue jumpsuit, did they take you to jail?
Huh?
After you left the interview on February 21st with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, did you go to jail?
Did they take me back to the jail?
Did they take you back to the jail?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay. And were you released in March of 2015 from your probation matter?
After y'all false arrest me?
Were you released from jail in March of 2015 from the probation?
I was released, I don't know when.
Okay. After March of 2015, before June, did you ever go back to jail? Between March of 2015 and June, do you recall going back to jail?
I went to jail every time the police saw me.
Okay. Did you ever go back to the Fulton County Jail between March and June?
Huh?
So back in 2015,
Right.
you got out after this probation violation, correct? You got out of jail, correct?
Yeah, I got out.
Okay. And we know the next time you went to jail was in June because they arrested you at your house, correct?
No, they locked me up at Deshaun house.
Excuse me, at Deshaun's house, correct?
Right.
So I'm asking, between the time you were released in March and the time that you got arrested in June at Deshaun's house, did you go back to jail at any other time between when you were released and when you got locked up?
Yeah, I think I went to jail like 3-4 days after I got out.
Okay. And was that in Henry County?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how long you stayed in Henry County?
It went no day or nothing. I stayed in there for a little minute.
When you say a little minute, would that be about a month?
Probably, yeah, I think so, a month. Another time y'all false arrested me.
That was in Henry County, correct, that you got arrested?
Yep.
You know Henry County's not in Fulton County, correct?
But how did I never been in Henry County a day in my life, so why they locking me up? Because y'all told them to.
That's a different county, correct?
Y'all all work together.
Is Henry County a different county? Okay. Now, during this time between March and June, were you still being accused of killing Nut?
I don't know.
Did you still believe that people thought you killed Nut?
I don't recall.
Also during this time, isn't it true that you thought that Thug was trying to kill you as well?
Huh?
Between March of 2015 and June of 2015, did you believe that Thug was trying to kill you?
I don't recall.
When you get arrested in June of 2015, you were frustrated. Is that fair to say?
Can you say that again?
When you got arrested in June of 2015, you were frustrated, correct?
I was.
Okay. You were upset that people were blaming you for something that you didn't do, correct?
No, I was upset. Y'all kept locking me up, and I was trying to get it. I don't recall.
Okay. Did you tell the police you were upset because people kept blaming you for something that you did not do?
I tell the police anything to finish my way out of jail.
And you also told the police that you thought Thug was trying to kill you, correct?
I tell the police anything to finish my way out of jail.
Okay. And it was during that June interview that you gave it all up, didn't you?
Gave it all up.
That you told about everything that happened the night of Donovan Thompson's murder.
I had enough time to I don't recall.
And in June, that interview started at 9:00 in the morning after they arrested you at Deshaun's house, correct?
If you say so.
Okay. And you were arrested at Deshaun's house for the gun that they found at the Dunbar Center in May of 2015, correct?
I think so.
And also when you got to Deshaun's house, you had another gun in the house for which...
I ain't had none.
Okay. They found another gun in Deshaun's house, correct?
That's what they said.
All right. And they brought you into headquarters to speak with you, correct? They brought you to headquarters to speak. You shook your head. Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And in that interview, Detective Gaither was present, correct?
If you say.
Detective Dennis was also there?
If you say.
Okay. Did you also speak with an ATF agent?
If you say.
Do you recall speaking to an ATF agent?
I don't recall none.
Okay. And at some point in time in that interview, Thorpe came and spoke with you as well, correct?
Did he?
At some point in time,
okay.
do you recall Thorpe coming to speak to you as well?
All right.
And then you also spoke with some internal affairs officers, correct?
I guess.
And this interview lasted at least, again, 9 hours, correct?
Felt like longer than that.
And when you first get into that interview, you tell Detective Gaither that you have not been hanging around Shannon. Correct?
Can you say it again?
When the interview talk starts, you tell Detective Gaither that you had not been hanging around Shannon anymore, correct?
I don't recall what I told the investigators, but believe me, if I'm not finna tell them the truth.
Okay. And you initially start the investigator saying that they're trying to kill you, correct?
Can you say that again?
You told the investigators that they were trying to kill you,
That who was trying to kill me?
that Thug and them were trying to kill you.
I don't recall.
Do you recall, did you ever text Thug's sister, Dolly, to ask her if Thug was trying to kill you?
I don't recall.
Right. Do you recall telling the detectives that you texted Max and asked her if Thug was trying to kill you?
I don't recall what I done told these people. But I'm not gonna tell them the truth. I keep telling you that.
And were you concerned that they were trying to kill you because you had told on them?
If I done told on them, they would have been in jail if they did anything that I was telling on them about.
Did you tell the detectives that they were trying to kill you because they think you told on them?
And I'm like that.
Okay. Matter of fact, Detective Gates asked you, why is everybody in the world trying to kill you? And your response is, they think I told on them.
You get in front of the police, play stupid, mislead them. I don't recall what I done told them. That's why I can't tell you, yeah, I remember telling them this. I don't recall.
Okay. And you actually provided the detectives with Dolly's phone number, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. And Dolly's phone number at the time ended in 1990, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
And I'm calling her Dolly, but you actually called her Max, correct?
I don't recall.
And you told the detective that her name is actually Dolly White on Instagram.
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives that you called her and you asked her, your brother trying to get me killed, what the hell have I did to him?
I don't recall nothing I done made up and told the police.
And her response to you was just stop listening to everybody.
I'm delusional like that.
If you're delusional, why would you need to tell the detectives about a text message?
Because it's just how I am. I'm going to justify myself. I'm already think ahead of time. I'm already try to make myself be prepared. I don't recall what I done told these people. I told you time after time after time. I done made this stuff up. I done made it all up. And you still want to ignore it.
And when the detectives asked you, why would they be trying to kill you? You said, listen, when Nut got killed and police called me down here, I came down here and I told them, look, I don't know what the hell's going on. These police acting like they think I killed this man. I keep telling them this.
So if they were trying to kill me, if he got killed in January and I got locked up in June, I would have, if there was truth, if they were trying to kill me, so they mean they were trying to kill me, and you said if game was trying to kill me, why ain't nobody kill me? Because last time I checked, I was in Mechanicsville every single day. So y'all gonna go off without a lie to the police then? At this point, we wasting time right now.
Isn't that one of the questions you asked the police? I don't know why they haven't killed me yet because I'm always in Mechanicsville.
Keep it on me. I don't know what you talk about. I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
And also, when they asked you, who thought you were talking to the police or snitching, you told them that Thug was right there. Thug was there every time that you answered the phone to talk to the police.
I had to be the stupidest person in the world to answer a phone for the police in front of anybody. Why would I answer the phone in front of anybody with the police? That don't even make sense. You can just tell the police anything, they're going to go for it.
Okay. But did you tell the police that you would answer the phone in
I don't
front of
recall
Thug?
what. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you tell the police that you would answer the phone in front of Thug? So that's why they think you were snitching.
So they think I was snitching, and like you said, I was still around them. And you want them to be killers or whatever you want them to be. Why I didn't die? Why I'm not dead? Why?
Didn't you ask that same question to Detective Gaither?
I don't know what I don't ask them, but it's just.
And you said the same thing. I'm in Mechanicsville every day. So if they want me to be killed, why haven't they killed me yet? That's the same question you asked Detective Gaither, correct?
You telling me or you asking me?
I'm asking you that, which you also told Detective Gaither.
You ask me, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you can't pick and choose what I'm telling the truth about or what I'm lying about. I can't say the word what I'm trying to say because you don't want me cursing.
Okay. So the point is, did you tell Detective Gaither the same thing you're telling here is, why haven't they killed me yet? I've been in Mechanicsville every single day.
I tell the investigators anything so that I'm innocent, I look innocent, and I ain't guilty of nothing. Are we clear?
I understand what you're saying today.
Okay.
Let's talk about what you told the police back in 2015. Back in 2015, because you still haven't answered this question. Did you tell the detectives the same thing that you're saying here today, which is, I don't know why they haven't killed me yet, because I'm in Mechanicsville every day.
So what you saying?
I'm answering that question. Did you tell the detective the same thing you're saying?
I don't know what I don't told the investigator. I asked them that 30,000 times already. I don't recall what I don't told them. But what I'm telling you is, if somebody gonna kill me or somebody wanted to kill me, it wasn't hard to kill me. I was outside, still ill.
All right. During the same interview, you were concerned that Thug did not want you hanging around him anymore, correct?
I'm talking to the police. They're trying to tie this man into me.
Okay. Did you tell the police in that interview he think he did something, he got rid of me? And they asked you, what do you mean? He ain't want me hanging around him no more. I'm like, what the hell? You feel what I'm saying? What the hell? This N-word don't want me around? I get to asking Shannon and them. And Shannon's like, I don't know.
If they wanted me dead, they knew where I laid my head at. They could have easily called me and be like, come here and kill me if they were living like that.
Okay. And then they asked you, why does it matter to Thug if he talking to the police or not? If he had no say-so with what happened with Nut, you know what's going on? And your response is, between us, I want to say they had something to do with it. Who was they?
Don't
All
pull.
of them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Don't pull them in my shenanigans. I keep telling you that. Y'all got me here to be truthful.
All right. And when you said all of them, and Detective Gates asked you Thug and who? And you said Shannon and Beezy. All of them been acting funny towards me.
I don't know if you know, which you already know. I don't run behind nobody. So when the investigators are questioning me, I'm going to say whatever to spin them to get them off of me.
Okay. And at that point, they asked you, how long have you known Shannon? And you said, longer than Thug has. And they asked, have you known Shannon for a good part of your adult life? And you said, we went to school together.
Because I knew my motive. My motive was to put the blame on them to get it off of me.
And then they asked you, you tell them, I'm going to tell you the truth. They did it.
I don't recall nothing I don't told the police.
And you said, I can't say who did it. And they said, who was they?
You finished?
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
And your response was, I can't say who did it. This is how I know did it. Thug and them don't know which one did it. I was at the house. And you began going into what happened on the night of the murder. Is that correct?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
Okay. You told the police back in this June 10th, 2015 interview, baby mama, she woke up. And I'm like, where you at? She at the Family Dollar on Auburn. And she's on the way. And you're telling the detective, this is the night of the murder. Do you remember this?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
And he said, isn't it true? After that night the murder happened, I called Thug. He always answered for me. I FaceTime him. He hung it up. I'm like, damn, I called D. And D like, where you at?
I don't recall nothing I told the police. I made it all up.
And they clarified, D, is that the Mickey-on?
You asking me?
I am.
I don't recall nothing I said to the investigators.
And then she said, yeah, the Mickey-on. I don't talk to the one from Cleveland. D. I don't talk from D on Cleveland.
Oh,
I'm about to get.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You want to take a break?
No, you good.
Okay. I'm about to get this car, this white Charger. Do you recall telling the detective that you were going to get your brother's white Charger?
I tell the investigators anything, as long as it ain't telling on myself.
Okay. He said, all right, I go to my brother's house. He going to give me the car, and I pulled up to the green store.
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
You then told him again, I called Thug. I ain't called D, and he didn't answer.
I think you just asked me that, and I just told you I don't recall nothing I said to the investigators.
Okay. You then tell the detectives, I pull up at the green store, I talked to Little Reddy, me and Little Reddy talking, and D said he was on Cleveland. So then you went over to Cleveland.
I don't even know who Loretta is, but I don't recall nothing I talked to, none that I told the detectives or whatever y'all want me to say.
Okay. You then tell the detectives that you leave from Mechanicsville and you pull up to the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue.
I don't recall nothing I don't told the investigators.
Okay. And do you recall going to the McDonald's?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And you told the detectives when you pulled up to McDonald's that D was with Bentley and them, correct?
I don't recall nothing.
And is Bentley OG Bentley?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And when they asked you who else was with you, you told them Nard. And you said, hold on, I think I'm lying. It was a white Jeep. It was Nard, D, Bentley, Shannon, and Yak. And all of them were in the Jeep.
I don't recall nothing I told to the police.
Okay. Do you recall being at the McDonald's and seeing Demekion, Nard, Bentley, and Shannon in a white Nitro?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And this was the Nitro that Bentley has.
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And do you recall D getting out of the vehicle and getting into your car?
I don't recall nothing.
And you told the detectives that D got out, and when D got out of the car, he got in a car with you.
I don't know how many times I keep telling you I don't recall nothing.
Okay. Isn't it true that when D got in your car, he told you they just killed Nut?
I don't recall nothing.
Is it true that you told the detectives in this June interview, Demekion said they just killed Nut?
I don't recall nothing.
And when he said that, that's when Nard got into your car?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And is it true that once Nard got into the car, you stopped talking about the murder with Demekion?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives?
I don't recall.
Okay. Once Nard got in the call, did you have some concern about why D stopped talking?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives when Nard got in the call, I'm like, D stopped talking. And I'm like, why the hell D stopped talking? I ain't say nothing. I'm in the car riding.
I don't recall.
While you were in the call with D and Nard, did Moontum call you?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives Moontum FaceTime you and said, Nut just got shot, boy?
Nothing I said was true. Why you keep asking me, is it true? I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
And your response to Moontum was, I'm like, I just heard it, boy. He said your name on Instagram. And you said, I'm just getting out of the house. I ain't had no parts of it.
Yeah. I don't recall nothing.
Okay. Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives? That after once Moontum called you, he said to you, I just heard it, boy. He said your name.
I'm sorry.
He said your name on Instagram. I'm just getting out of the house. I didn't have any parts of it.
I don't recall.
And they asked you, who was Nard?
I don't recall.
Do you know who Nard is?
When you asked me that back there, what I told you?
Do you know who Nard is?
No, I told you back there I didn't know who Nard was.
Have you ever seen Nard?
I don't recall nothing I don't told the investigators.
My question to you is, have you ever seen Nard?
I don't recall.
And when they asked you who Nard was, is it true you told the police that Nard was locked up?
I don't recall.
And they asked you what he was locked up for, and you told them what he was locked up for?
I don't recall.
Then they continued to get more information. When Nard got into the car, you said, D, stop talking. Once you left McDonald's, where did you go?
I don't recall. I don't even recall going to McDonald's. I don't recall nothing that you're talking about. I don't recall no lie that I told the investigators. You got me here to tell the truth, but you keep asking me about some lies I don't made up.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives y'all got on the expressway?
Nothing I said is true. I don't recall.
Okay. And is it true that you told the detectives that they followed you, that you were following the Nitro up to Thug's house?
I don't recall.
Okay. And isn't it true then you said you followed them to Thug's house, and you said once you dropped off Demekion and Nard at Thug's house?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall going to Thug's house the night that Donovan Thomas was murdered?
I don't recall.
Did you tell? Isn't it true you told the detective? So we followed him to Thug's house. He stayed downtown at the Sky House.
I don't recall.
Did Thug stay at the Sky House back in 2015?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that once you got to Thug's house, that Nard got out of the car?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true you told the detectives that once you got to Thug's house, Nard got out of the vehicle?
I don't recall.
Is it true that when Nard got out of the vehicle, Demekion told you they just killed Nut?
I don't recall.
Is it true that's what you told the detectives? That once Nard got out of the car, he told you, Demekion told you they just killed Nut?
I don't recall. No lie I told the police.
And isn't it true that when Demekion told you they just killed Nut, he pointed in the direction of Thug, Nard, and Shannon, who was getting out of the car?
I tell the police anything get them out my face.
And
I do not recall one thing I told the police.
And isn't it true you told detectives, your response is, I'm like who? And he just pointed towards Nard and them.
I don't recall.
Is it true that you then told Demekion, you know what, I'm not going to get caught up in all of this?
I don't recall.
Okay. After that, then they asked you, why do they think that you did it?
I don't recall.
And your response was, because me and Kel get into it.
I don't recall.
And they asked you, what does Nard have to do with it?
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives, this is what I want to tell you. I think Thug and Nut had problems with each other.
I don't recall.
And weren't you telling the detectives information that you learned from Demekion?
I don't recall.
And they actually asked you if Demekion would come down there and talk with them, correct?
I don't recall.
And you told them, I don't think he's going to come down because when you gave them Demekion's number the first time, Demekion never called them.
I don't recall.
And you actually told the detectives you encouraged Demekion to call the police.
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives, I told D, I love you too much. I helped you. These niggas not for you, bro. And you going to go with them.
I don't recall.
Didn't D tell you that they hid the car and the guns after the murder of Donovan Thomas?
I don't recall.
Isn't that what you told the detectives, that D told you that they hid the car and the guns?
I tell detectives anything they want to hear. If they go for it, they go for it. I don't recall.
And didn't you tell the detective it was a gray car?
I don't know. I don't recall what I told them.
And you said you knew what the car was because you had saw the car on video.
I don't recall what I don't told them.
And they asked you whether or not it was a Pontiac. And you told them that it was not a Pontiac.
I tell them anything. As long as I throw them out, that's all that matter.
You also told them that it was a rental vehicle, correct?
I tell them anything to throw them off.
And although you're telling us today that you said anything to throw them off, isn't it true that you told the detectives, I promise you, I ain't lying. I hate jail. I'll be damned. The nigga tried to kill me and my child.
I do hate jail.
Okay.
And I would tell the police anything to throw them off.
My question for you is, isn't it true that you told the detectives, I promise you, I ain't lying. I hate jail. I'll be damned. The nigga tried to kill me and my child.
I don't recall.
All right, Ms. Hilton, let's take a break. It's about time for our morning break. Let's take 10 minutes or so.
It scared me. They got words on it. Oh.
Mr. Copeland, back in 2015, were you mentioned in any of Thug's songs? Was your nickname Woody mentioned in any of Thug's songs?
Huh?
Did Thug mention you in any of his songs back in 2015?
Back in 2015?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you recall telling the detectives that he put your name in these songs and he doesn't know, you don't know why he put your name in these songs?
I didn't like him rapping about me.
Okay. Why didn't you like him rapping about you?
Huh?
Why didn't you like him rapping about you?
Because it's my life. Like, don't be lying on me.
What do you mean by that?
Don't be lying on me.
Are you talking about in the rap songs?
Yes.
What did you think were lies that he was telling on you in the rap song?
I don't recall.
Do you recall what the verse was or what he said in the rap song?
Ain't no speak no English. No, I don't recall.
Now, back in 2015, we talked about the gun that you had, the gun that was at the Dunbar Center.
I ain't had no gun.
Hey, was there a gun that was in a H&M bag that they found at the Dunbar Center?
That's what they said.
All right. And isn't it true that Quindarius, Zachary, or Little D from Cleveland purchased that gun for you?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives when they asked you, how did you get possession of that gun? You said, I got it the day he bought it for me.
I don't recall.
And you asked, and you said, yeah, he bought it for me. He bought it out of the pawn shop for you.
I don't recall.
And that you paid $1,000 for that gun.
I don't recall.
And you purchased the gun because you thought you could defend yourself.
I don't recall.
Did you think that you were able to defend yourself because of the retaliatory shootings that were happening back in 2015?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling the detectives that another detective told you you had a right to protect yourself?
I don't recall.
But that you couldn't take the gun if you were at the club, but if you were at home, you had a right to protect yourself?
I don't recall.
When you were at the Dunbar Center with the gun, were you trying to sell that gun?
I was at Dunbar Recreation playing basketball.
Okay. And while at the Dunbar Recreation Center playing basketball, did you have the gun that Quindarius Zachary purchased for you?
I had a basketball.
Isn't it true that you also had the gun that Quindarius Zachary purchased for you?
I had my shirt off. I was playing basketball.
Where was the gun at?
You tell me.
Isn't it true that the gun was sitting on a bench at the basketball court in an H&M bag?
I was playing basketball.
And isn't it true that you were trying to sell that gun that day, that you had it at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I ain't have no gun.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that you gave them the gun to sell and that they were going to sell the gun, that you were trying to sell your gun that day that you got caught with the gun at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I tell investigators anything.
Matter of fact, isn't it true that you told the detective, when I was locked up, I called one of my partners and he was like, get some money, can you help me out? He was like, yeah. When I got out, they brought me the gun back. And I was like, I don't want it. I was still trying to sell it. That is why, that is what I had, you know what I mean? When I got the gun, I got it from the green store. I went up to the park to go play basketball, but I was waiting on them to come and get it. Little D and them, so his brother pulled up. They actually waiting on who to come and get it. You talking about Demikian or Quindarius? You said Little D from Cleveland. He was supposed to pull up and get it.
Cap, I tell the investigators anything to get them off me. I didn't have no gun. I didn't know nothing about the gun. When they said something about the gun, I was confused, shot, lost. That's why they let me go that same day.
And matter of fact, they wanted to make sure that they were correct, that you were both talking about the same gun. And Detective Gates said, I'm talking about the one from the Dunbar Center. He said, that is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Sorry. That is what I'm talking about. I got out of jail from Henry County Monday, and police got me for the gun Tuesday. I did not go to jail.
Can you say that again?
Sure. Detective Gaither wanted to clarify that the gun she was referencing was the gun from the Dunbar Center. And your response was, that is what I'm talking about. I got out of jail from Henry County Monday, and police got me for the gun Tuesday. I did not go to jail.
Can you say it one more time?
Sure. Isn't it true that Detective Gaither wanted to make sure that you both were talking about the same gun, so you clarified for her and said, that is what I'm talking about. I got out of jail from Henry County on Monday, and police got me for the gun on Tuesday. I did not go to jail.
I don't recall.
Now, back in June of 2015, were you still hanging with both Shannon and Demikian in June of 2015?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in that interview, 1 minute D is with Shannon, and then when D's not with Shannon, him and me are together?
I don't recall. Nothing I told the investigators. I would tell them anything to get them off of me.
Back in 2015, did you get all of your information from Little D from Cleveland? Excuse me, Little D from Mechanicsville.
Say that again?
Back in 2015, because you were locked up from parts of time, did you get all of your information from Little D from Mechanicsville?
I'm Mr. Make Believe. I make it up. I don't recall. Nothing I done made up. I keep telling you that.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this same June 2015 interview, I get all my information through Little D, and they clarified which Little D, and you said Mechanicsville? And they said, so Demikion, and you said yes.
I don't recall nothing. I don't see whatever I made up to the police.
Okay. Do you recall saying that he's always in the midst of everybody? Everyone talks through him. You know what I mean? I can always just ask. I can call Lil D right now, and he will sit here and tell me what's going on.
Nah, I don't recall nothing, but I do know that I tell Lil D what to say. So if I told the investigators go ask Lil D something, it's because I don't told Lil D to be prepared for it.
Now, in 2015, did you know someone by the name of Valerie or V?
Who?
Valerie.
Who?
Did you know someone by the name of Valerie?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives that it was Valerie who told you that Thug wanted to kill you?
I don't recall nothing. I done made up to the police.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that Valerie got into a car while you were at a baby shower and told you that Thug was trying to kill you?
That wasn't true. I made it up. If I did say that, if I didn't say it, I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
Isn't it also true, though, on a jail call after June 10th, 2015, you told Max that Valerie told you that Thug was trying to kill you?
Yeah, because I told you that. One thing, I don't recall.
Okay. Now, isn't it true? Well, let me ask you this. After Valerie told you or that Thug was trying to kill you, did you try to reach out to Monte or Yak Gotti?
No, I don't got nothing else to say.
Oh, okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this same June 2015 interview, you saw Monte and Detective Gaither asked you which Monte? Your response, Yak. Like day before yesterday, went to the graveyard. When I seen him, he was at my cousin's house. I was like, damn, man, we grew up together. They asked you, what is Yak's real name? Do you know? You said no. Detective Gaither, you said you grew up with him. Your response, I just know his first name, Monte. Don't know the last name. You said to Monte, MFers told me that Thug planned on killing me. And Monte's response to you was, hell nah, bro, I never heard that. He denied it. He said, you said that people will never say it. Word was, I was talking to the police too much. You feel what I'm saying?
So once I was released from Henry County Jail, everybody would ask me, did I hear the song? Everybody was telling me that Thug had put out the song Halftime. And the police wasn't targeting me again. That's why they got me the next day. I was mad. I was like, damn, this nigga telling on me, putting me in his song. So I was mad at him, and I started plotting against him. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was telling him, hey, man, this nigga trying to make it seem like I'm out here. Ooh, I said what I said to my buddy. And, yeah, I didn't like the simple fact that he was saying stuff that it had nothing to do with him and his song. Like, why is you rapping about what I'm doing in the streets? Like, they done got nothing to do with. So, yeah, I was mad with him, and I was plotting on him.
When did the song Halftime come out?
Man, this song was old, but when he put it out, the police started making it seem like it was a new song, and then they started trying to use that song to say that this and that and third.
Is Halftime the only song that mentions your name?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know this song made the police come after me, and I didn't like the simple fact of it. I didn't give nobody permission to say nothing about me in no song.
Why do you believe that the song made police started coming after you?
Because that's what they said. They said it. That's what the investigator told me.
What did the investigators tell you?
I don't know.
So is it your testimony that an investigator said, hey, because your name is in the song, we're now coming after you?
What I do, go to the grave with me. You hear me?
Well, yesterday you did disclose that you and Threat shot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop.
Yeah, you got me frustrated, and I ain't mean to say that.
Okay. Do you recall asking the judge if you could say it?
I was frustrated.
Okay. Now, they asked you, why would Thug be nervous if he had nothing to do with anything? And your response is, y'all keep saying my name. They saying me and Thug. That's what I keep saying, but I had no parts in it. Are you talking about the fact that you had no parts in killing Nut?
I don't recall nothing I said to no police.
Now, isn't it true that
Nothing I say is true. Okay. No.
Up until June of 2015, were you trying to keep what you knew about Nut's murder to yourself?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Prior to this interview in June of 2015, were you trying to keep what you knew about Nut's murder to yourself?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told detectives, this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. I'm asking you, with the murder, I'm trying to explain it. I act like I never heard about it. I act like I never told D and none of them, period. So I just kept it to myself.
Yeah, I tell so many lies and different stories to the point I don't even know. I don't have a clue what I don't see. All I know was I'm innocent. And today I'm innocent. And Threat innocent too.
What are you innocent of?
Anything.
Okay. Are you innocent of, did you not kill Nut? Is that what you're talking about?
No, ask me that how many times now?
Because I'm trying to understand what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Were you, back in 2015, concerned that Thug had stopped talking to you? Excuse me, back in 2015.
Can you ask me that again?
Sure. Back in 2015, were you concerned that Thug was not speaking to you?
No.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives, he's not talking to me, period, and you're talking about Thug? And they asked you, he's not talking to you for a reason because he thinks you're talking to us. And your response is, he's not thinking I'm telling you nothing. He's just thinking I'm talking to the police a lot because he heard my conversation with the police.
I'm talking to the police, so my only motive is to throw them off. You know what I mean? Like, what I got going on ain't got nothing to do with him, but they want to keep tying him into what I got going on, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw it off on him because I was mad he put that song out saying this and that and third. That don't got nothing to do with him, so he never did that, so I'm going to put the blame on him. Don't throw me under the bush. I'm going to throw you under the bush. That was my whole motive.
Now with your name inside of the songs, were you concerned that he was putting your names in songs? You thought he should be putting Shannon's names in the songs?
So for one, the song was old. Halftime was old. The song been out since like 2014. You know what I mean? I wasn't mad about. I was mad about the timing of when the song was released, because the facts are the facts. I mean, I don't shoot nobody for that, man. So when he put it out, I didn't care for the song, but when he put it out, the police were trying to put this murder on me, and they was targeting me. I don't like the police keep bothering me, so I just didn't like I didn't like the timing of when they put that song out. When their label, whoever put it out, I didn't like the timing of it.
When you said the police were trying to put the murder on you, didn't the police have you come in every single time for you to tell?
Can you say that again?
You said the police were trying to put the murder on you.
Right.
When you went in each of these times in early June, in January through June, did you ever get arrested for Nuts murder?
What you mean?
You said the police were trying to put the murder on you. Between January and June of 2015, did you ever get arrested for Nuts murder?
No.
Okay. So during the time that you kept going into the police, did they ever, at any of these times, arrest you for Nuts murder?
They were discombobulated. They were so confused. I kept spinning them. But when he put that song out, they was like, "Yeah, you did it."
In any of these interviews that you had with the detectives, what detective said you killed Nut?
Hey, I don't know.
Okay. So isn't it true that none of the detectives ever said that you killed Nut in any of these interviews from January to June of 2015?
Shit, I don't know.
But isn't it true that that's what you told the police, that everyone is putting your name in it?
I don't know. I don't told the police so much. I don't know. I don't recall what I just said. I just know I was trying to get myself out of it.
And isn't it true that the police allowed you to tell them what happened the night of Nut's murder?
Yeah, you see what they played on me. They sat right there laughing, ha ha ha, whatever. And just why I know they playing on me, but I ain't finna tell them myself. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep spinning them until what? They let me walk out. Every time they let me walk out, I was laughing walking out.
And is the lyric from the song that you were concerned with that Thug says Little Woody will pull up and pop at your noggin?
What you mean?
Is that the verse that you didn't like?
I didn't like the fact that the police tried to make it seem like that song was made to say that I pull up and did this to this man.
Correct. What I'm asking you though is that the verse you did not like?
That's
Little
the
Woody-
song I didn't like.
Okay. Is that the specific verse in the song?
I didn't like the timing of the song. I didn't care about him rapping about me popping at people nuggets because it wasn't true. But when he put the song out, or when they put the song out, it was an investigation on me, and y'all kept harassing me, and that's what I didn't like.
Okay. At this time, what investigation was on you regarding this song?
I don't recall.
Okay. Because isn't it true that there was no open investigation regarding any of the shootings at this time regarding you?
How I supposed to know?
When you spoke to the police, did you come in the first time to clear your name, this next two times as a victim? When you first went to go speak to the police about what happened in 2015?
Objection.
I'll rephrase, Your Honor. When you first came in January 2015, didn't you come to clear your name?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. The next two times, both in January 28th and February 20th, you came as a victim, correct?
How I supposed to know?
And when you came in February 21st, you came because you had violated your probation, correct?
You keep saying I came. They took me. It's a difference.
All right. And then in June, you were arrested because of the gun that was at the Dunbar Center.
That y'all placed on me.
None of those times were you accused of shooting and killing Donovan Thomas, correct?
Y'all charged me, and like what? One of them, y'all did put them charges on me.
But I'm asking you, between January and June, when you were talking to the police, there were no charges against you for killing Donovan Thomas.
You said no. I don't recall. I don't know.
Okay. Going back to the night that Donovan Thomas was killed, isn't it true that when Little D got into the car, Little D told you that it was Nard, Shannon, and Yak who killed Nut?
Objection has to answer.
Sustained.
And that they used, isn't it true that they used the car, the rental car that Thug rented?
I don't know. I don't recall nothing I lied to the police about.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives the car they used was the rental car that Thug had?
That-
Sustained.
Isn't it true that they asked you if you knew the make and model of the car?
Today, right now, as I'm right here, the truth is I never seen none of them people who I mentioned the night that that's supposed to happen.
Okay.
I told the investigators anything, and they went going for the stuff that I was telling them. So I had to try my best to convince them. So guess what? I went had to do. Fuck it, I'm about to put it on these niggas because they closer to me. They'll go for it. I don't just trying to get them out my face.
They asked you where Thug rented the car from, and didn't you tell them that he rented it from the airport?
So you gotta say a little truth and put it with the bullshit.
Okay. Is it true that he rented the vehicle from the airport?
I don't recall nothing. I'm tired of answering these questions at this point. You keep asking me the same thing over and over and over and over.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives he rented the car from the airport?
I don't tell the police the truth.
Okay. Would it surprise you that we actually got the rental car records from the airport, that where Thug rented the vehicle from the airport?
You didn't hear me say I take a little bit of truth and put it with the rest of it to convince them?
Okay. Isn't it true that once D told you that they killed them, you asked why did they do that?
It's true that I ain't stupid as y'all think.
Okay. And he told you he didn't know.
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true you asked Demekion, was he with them when the murder happened?
I don't recall.
And his response was, no, he wasn't there.
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives?
The truth is, you asked me about lies I done said in the past, and I'm sitting right here trying to be truthful, but you keep trying to go into lies that I can't keep up with. I remember.
Isn't it true that Demekion told you that Bentley went and hid all the stuff?
I never get into business that don't have anything to do with me.
Okay. Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives, that D told you that Bentley went and hid the stuff?
I tell the detective that anything to get them off of me.
Isn't it true that little D told you that they initially rode past the barbershop and that's when they saw a nut?
Hell, I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't that what you told the detectives, that little D told you?
I don't recall nothing I done told the investigators.
And isn't it true that little D told you that when they saw a nut, they switched cars?
I don't recall nothing I done lied to the investigators about.
Okay. And isn't it true that's what you told the detective, that they switched cars?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that D told you that they switched cars and Thug got into the Pontiac with a girl?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Why would I be wanting to know if any of this they took? I don't even want to know because I don't. It's nothing to do with me. So I'm making. I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that's what you told the detective, that Demekion told you that Thug and the girl, they got in a Pontiac?
I don't recall.
Okay. And when they clarified who all was in the Pontiac, you said Demekion, Thug, and the girl.
I don't recall.
And isn't it true that you told them that they switched cars at the gas station?
I don't recall.
Okay. Would it surprise you that we have surveillance video from the gas station?
The hell if I know?
Okay. And would it surprise you that it shows the Pontiac and the Great Infinity at the gas station?
Do it show me?
You told me this is what Demekion told you, correct?
Man, you hear me? I don't recall nothing I don't say to the investigators.
Now, isn't it true that you also told them that Doo-Wop was there as well?
Who?
Doo-Wop.
I don't recall nothing I told to the investigators.
And isn't it true that you told the detective that, again, that you FaceTimed Thug that night?
I don't recall nothing I told to the investigators.
Okay. On the night of the murder, did you tell Deshaun what Demekion had just told you?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that after Demekion told you what happened, you called Deshaun and you told her the truth?
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives that they could call Deshawn down to the police department and talk to her.
I don't recall.
And matter of fact, you told the detectives, you told Deshawn, if anything happens to me, tell the police what I told you.
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, what is the reason that the thug and Nut have a personal beef?
He's behind you. You can ask him that.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this June interview, Nut and Thug had something personal against each other?
And I told the investigators anything. I'm pretty sure I probably told them a different lie. You can't go off of what I don't said to them people. I don't remember what I said to them.
Isn't it true that Nut and Thug got into a beef before you and Kel got into it?
Hell, I don't know. Ask him.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives they fell out before B and Kel got into it?
I don't recall. And then I told to the investigators.
And when they asked you, did you know what they got into it over? You said you weren't sure.
I don't recall.
And if you were trying to lie, couldn't you just make up something at that point?
Huh?
If you were trying to lie, as opposed to saying you don't know what their beef was over, couldn't you just have made it up at that point?
Just like, you got to understand, like, the pressure gets so real, like, man, I don't. Y'all just had me now question me. I don't know what, I don't have a clue what I was saying.
Now, isn't it true in this June interview, you also told them about the fight at Club Crucial that Monday before Nut got killed?
Man, I'm pretty sure in that interview I made all type of things up to say.
Now, in this June interview, would that now be the 5th time that you told them about this fight at Club Crucial?
I don't know. If somebody do something to me, I'm going to remember that. Because I'm going to be a victim.
Okay, so if you were making stuff up, why did you keep on consistently telling them about the
I said, if somebody did something to me, I'm going to be a victim because once I be able to do something bad to them, I'm going to be justified.
Okay.
Okay.
So you told them about these events leading up to the night.
I told them about events that involve people doing something to me. I don't know what I done told them.
Now, on the Monday night after you got beat up and you ran outside
You say I got beat up?
by Shell Cal,
I'm listening.
and you went outside afterwards, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling the police in this same June interview that when you went outside, Thug was pulling on your shirt like there go Bloody J right there?
I don't recall.
Okay. And next thing you know, you heard Shannon heard Shannon was near you when Thug said there go Bloody J right there.
I don't recall.
Okay. And isn't it true that you then told the police that Shannon and Munsil then jumped on Bloody J?
You keep saying, is it true? I keep telling you, I don't lie to the investigators. So nothing I said was true.
I'm asking you, isn't true this is what you told the investigators?
I don't know what I done told them.
Okay, isn't it true that in January you told them that some of your buddies jumped on Bloody J, but you didn't go into specifics?
What you getting all aggressive for?
Isn't it true that you told them in January that your buddies beat up Bloody J?
I don't recall.
Okay, but now in June you got with more specificity of who those buddies were that beat up
I
Bloody
didn't
J.
hear you.
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you.
In June, you now told them with specificity who beat up Bloody J.
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that on the night that you and Shell got into it at the club, when you came outside while they were beating up Bloody J, Yak got stopped by the police that night?
I don't know.
Isn't it true that you told the police that got stopped by police that night?
I don't recall what I done told the police. If I told the police he got stopped that night and he got stopped that night, that's me again trying to put some truth with the rest of it to convince them that I'm being truthful.
And is it true that you told them that night he got pulled over and locked up with a gun?
I don't know. He right there. Ask him.
Is it true that's what you told the police?
I told the police anything to get them out of me.
Is it true on this same night of Club Crucial that after Yak got pulled over that you saw Thug and Nard get into a car?
I don't recall. Nothing I told to the police.
Okay. I'm asking that what happened that night.
What you mean what happened that night?
On the night of Club Crucial, did you see Thug and Nard get into a car?
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told police that you saw Thug and Nard get into a car?
Ain't no telling what I told the police. I'm not going to tell them the truth. I know that.
And when Thug and Nard got into the car, did they pull onto a side street?
Thug behind you, ask him.
I'm asking you.
I don't recall. Nothing I told to the police.
I'm asking you, did that occur?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that's what you told the police? That
I don't
Thug,
recall.
All right. Isn't it true that you told the police that Thug pulled on a side street?
I don't recall.
Once you pulled on the side street, did you and your brother pull up next to them on that side street?
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the police that you and your brother pulled up beside them on the side street?
I tell the police anything about Thug to get them off of me.
Okay. Now, back in 2015, on this same night at Club Crucial,
I didn't hear your date.
on this same Monday night at Club Crucial, did you see Nard? Did you speak to Nard and Thug while y'all were on the side street?
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told him that you spoke to Nard and Thug while y'all were on the side street?
I don't recall. Nothing I told to the police, but I know it is a long way from the truth.
Okay. And that either Nard or Thug said that they were waiting for Buddy J.
Who is that?
Who's Buddy J?
Yeah, I mean, I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
Okay. Isn't it true that you said that you heard a gun cocked back from inside their vehicle?
Told you I'm gonna tell the police anything, get them out for me. I'm not about to tell them what I done done.
Okay. And that the person that you heard with the gun was Nard?
Just a lie. I don't recall.
Okay. Did you hear Nard with the gun?
Huh?
Did you see Nard with a gun in the car?
I didn't see Nud that night.
Okay. So you do know who Nard is?
No, that's what I'm telling you. I didn't see Nud that night. You keep asking me about Nud. I don't.
How then can you say you didn't see Nard that night if you don't know who Nard is?
Because it's nothing. Just no. Hold on. You got me talking fast because you frustrating me again. I don't know Nud personally, but I know who Nud is. I didn't see Nud in the car with no gun. Like I said, they jumped on me. I had a knot, and I was mad, and I was gonna get my get back. I did not leave with I left by myself with the people that was in the car with me. And no, you do not need to know who was in the car with me.
Was your brother one of the people in the car with you?
No, my brothers, I don't know where he was.
Okay. Why'd you tell the detective that your brother was in the car with you?
Because I went for to tell them what I was on.
Did you also, in this same June interview, also tell Detective Gaither and Dennis again about meeting up with Kel at the Cascade skating ring?
I don't recall no lies I told to the investigators that I done told them.
Would this now be again at least the third time that you told detectives about this Cascade skating ring incident with you and Kel?
I don't recall.
Again, did you also in this same interview tell the detectives about the gambling house shooting?
Man, listen, I sit there and tell the detective a whole bunch of bullshit and let them figure it out, let them go run, chase their tail. I don't remember nothing I said to them. They sat right there and listened to all the stories I had to tell, and I'm telling them, I'll say whatever to let me out of jail. they go for it or they don't. And guess what? They sat right there and let me talk and make up all this stuff about these people. And, you know, that just was it. I don't recall nothing I said specific. But I know that I think I said that if I did anyone in an interrogation, I'd say anything if y'all let me go. I'd do anything if y'all let me go. That's my motive.
Isn't it true regarding the gambling house shooting? You gave a little more detail during this interview.
I'm gonna give details if I'm a victim.
Isn't it true that you told them, you know, I kept closing my eyes, but they were shooting behind us and the wall was blocking us. They blocking off the van. It hit through the car, every car in the parking lot. After that, everyone happened to get up. There was kids. There were 4 little boys. They seen Thug and wanted to ride. The little kids, we were looking in the bushes, making sure no one was lying in the bushes. They called the police and stuff. Everyone was wondering where Thug had went, but Thug had already left by the time the police came.
See, even you fell for it. See, you take the little bit of truth that I tell and put it with all the bullshit that I said. And you're highlighting like you said, the details of it. That really took place, but you're trying to put that with all the fairy tales that I made up.
So what part took place? The actual shooting at the gambling house?
The shooting, I don't know. I didn't never see somebody shooting at us. But if the police question me, I'm trying to convince them that I know what I'm talking about. So it's easy to say shell kill. It's easy to put people's name with crime that, because if he did it, why y'all don't lock him up? If I say I seen him do it, why y'all don't lock him up and charge you for it? So I don't know what or who did what. I just know that I'm trying to convince that these police that I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm so sorry. She frustrating me. You ready? Okay, you listen. All right, I'm trying to convince the police that I know what I'm talking about. And the only way I can do that is telling them something that I know that they know. They know that this gambling house got shot up. So if I tell them this gambling house got shot up and these people did it, they'll go for all the other bullshit that I'm trying to cover up. You feel me? Okay.
You good? You good?
She said, yeah.
All right. Now, earlier I asked you what studio that you go to. Do you recall telling the detectives that the studio that you go to is the one on Northside Drive? It's Metropolitan in the Lofts. Do you recall that being the studio that you would go to?
I don't think I ever been to the studio on Metropolitan. I don't recall going to the studio on Metropolitan.
Back in June of 2015, did you believe that Thug turned everyone against you?
Huh?
Back in June of 2015, did you believe that Thug had turned everyone against you?
That's why I would tell the police anything to get them off me. If y'all watch me like y'all was, y'all would see that nothing ain't changed but the lies I told the police.
So my question is, in June of 2015, did you believe Thug was trying to get everyone to turn against you?
What do you need to do that for?
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that Thug turned everyone against me?
It's true that I tell the investigators anything that they want to hear. They want to hear about Thug, so I'm about to sit right here and gas them up. I'm about to sit right here and say he killed 19 people, all type of stuff. I'm about to sit right here and make him look like the worst person on the earth so that they can believe and let me go.
And at no point in any of these interviews did you ever tell the police that Thug killed Nut, did you?
Shit, did I?
At any point, did you ever tell any police, if you wanted to make him look so bad, at any point, did you ever tell the police that Thug killed Nut?
Shit, I don't know. I think I don't recall. I can't say what I told him. I can't remember because you trying to trap me up. I can't remember if I told them that he did it. I don't.
Isn't it true?
I know I was gonna get it off of me.
Okay. Isn't it true that what you told the detectives, which is what Demekion told you, was that it was Shannon, Nard, Yak, and Doo-Wop?
I don't recall what I told.
Sustain.
Okay. Isn't it true that you only told the detectives what D told you?
I don't recall what I told them. I thought that D was gonna back up my story, so I was trying to throw the blame on D to get it off of me.
Okay. And isn't it true that D only told you that the people who shot the shot were Nard, Shannon, Yak, and Doo-Wop.
Overruled.
What's going on?
I'll repeat the question. Isn't it true that D only told you that it was Nard, Shannon, Yak, and Doo-Wop?
Like I told you in that back room back there, D never told me none of that. I made it up.
All right,
I don't recall.
we need to take a quick break.
Okay.
What's a quick break?
What's a quick break? I don't know, maybe 10 minutes.
You said 10 minutes? Can I go out?
Yeah, but